Let's return to page 16 and pick up where we left off. Foreigners added to the cult. Perhaps the most widely read biography of the time was the one written by Henry Barbusse, the author of the most famous anti-war novel of the century and later a member of the French Communist Party. In 17 years, under Stalin's leadership, the Soviet Union had become the most civilized country in the world. In every respect, his story was a chain of successes in the face of unheard of difficulties. He was a man of iron and steel, and of enormous common sense. He had the wisdom and the caution of a lion. He was a man of the widest knowledge, of passionate purity, of unshakable resolution, the Lenin of his age. He had written a great number of important books. In some ways, he was even greater than Lenin, who had been a mere agitator, because Stalin was, above all, the statesman. His terrible patience was one of his outstanding features. He was of the most modest of men, taking care of everything, having only one secretary, unlike Lloyd George, who had 32. He wrote his speeches himself and answered all his mail. He laughed like a child, and he loved children. He was kind, cordial, delicate, and gay. He never tried to shine, but always preferred to stay in the background. His simplicity and his uncomplicated nature made it sometimes difficult to understand him. Oh, he was motivated not by personal vanity, but by conviction and faith. Stalin believed in the masses, and the masses believed in him. He was the most important of all contemporaries. The other Soviet leaders believed in him and needed him. Under Stalin's guidance, scientists were endeavoring to raise the dead and save the living with the blood of the dead. In his way, Stalin towered with all his greatness over Europe and Asia, over yesterday and today at the same time. The biography ended with an apotheosis on Red Square. Here is the paternal brother who is watching everyone. Although you do not know him, he knows you and is thinking of you. Whoever you may be, you have need of his benefactor. Whoever you may be, the finest part of your destiny is in the hands of that other man, who also watches over you and who works for you, the man with the scholar's mind, a workman's face, and the dress of a simple soldier. The Barbusse biography was written by a communist, an extreme manifestation of the adulation of Stalin. But there were other works almost equally laudatory, if more restrained in tone. J.T. Murphy was a former communist, but this did not prevent him from writing of Stalin as the great human powerhouse, as a statesman whose gigantic achievements and assured prospects were greater than those of any contemporary. He was the greatest politician of the 20th century, just like DMZ Dog said. Now, let me share with you this final quote from J.T. Murphy's Stalin biography. He can confidently face his people with frontiers secure, in an era of economic and social expansion ahead, such as the world has never known. The full power of the country's vast productive machinery and resources will be turned to healing the wounds of war and enriching the social well-being of every man, woman, and child in the Union. Thus the new world, born on November 7th, 1917, will grow from strength to strength, and all men will testify that in this creation and development, Joseph Stalin has earned his title of the Great. Oh, wonderful words, almost like poetry by J.T. Murphy. Join us next time, folks, as we pick up where we left off in Walter Laqueur's fantastic biography of the greatest politician of the 20th century, Joseph Stalin. Next time, we will tackle Chapter 2, War Against the Peasants, the Bulgarian alternative.